Hello. So let's start with one of the most important features of Power BI, that is query editor. So first of all, let's import our data from our Excel data source. So we'll select our file and then we'll just quickly load it into our Power BI file. And once the file is loaded, we can see it here in this fields panel. Now, to go to the query editor, we'll just simply have to click this and we'll be taken back to the query editor window. So this is our query editor window, and first of all I'll show you some of the basic but important features of query editor. So when working in query editor, one of the most important things is to always keep these things clear, that we have the right data type in the right column. So suppose this is a numerical value, so the data type should always be in the number format. This All of these which are in number format should be in numeric format. Like this is a date column, so it is in the date type data type. So suppose if we are having a wrong data type in our column, then when we are working with the charts and graphs, this will really cause us some trouble if we are using wrong data type. So always make sure that the data types are correct up here. So simply, if you want to change any data type, we have to just click on these numbers and we'll see all the data types which are available here. So right now it is in the right format, this which is the whole number. We can convert these into any of the different data types, but as of now this looks quite good. The text is in text format, the number is in number format, and so this looks good. So always make sure that your data type is in the correct format. And next up is, suppose we want to sort these columns. So right now they are in just any random order. If we want to sort these, we have this two numbers up here, sort ascending and sort descending. If we click on this, we will get numbers sorted in the ascending order from the smallest to the largest number. And if we want to sort it in the descending order, we can just simply click it and we'll get the numbers in the descending order. We can do this for any column, and when we click apply any step, automatically this will be shown up in the steps up here. As it is written here, it is sorted rows. This was our previous step. So if we have done anything wrong, we can simply go back by clicking on the previous step. So this is one of the important and pretty good feature of Power BI, that we can undo any step. Suppose you don't want to sort, you have done it by any kind of mistake or any applied you have done anything by wrong. Suppose this is a number format and you have applied it a text data type up here. So this must not work correctly. And so one of the good thing is, it is mentioned up here. We can quickly just click on the cross icon and we will be taken back to the previous step. If we don't want to the sorted rows, we can again click the cross one and we'll taken back to the next step. So this is a pretty handy step to jump to our previous steps. Now another thing is, all the tables which you will be loaded will be shown up here. So we can pretty easily rename our tables name as well. Suppose I want to keep this as only sales data, so our name will be changed here pretty easily. And all of these steps which I followed here are written in the advanced editor as well. When you click on this new window will pop up, and this code which is written up here is in M language. So the source is the Excel workbook, this is my URL, and all of the steps which I followed are written here in the M language. So you can always keep an eye on your M code. Now, suppose that you have changed anything in your uh, base data base data source. Suppose the data which from where you have taken this have any kind of changes. So if you want to uh, keep the change here as well, you can always click on the refresh preview. If you click on the refresh preview, you will always get the updated data. If you have made any changes in the Excel table, so automatically it will not affect here. You have to click on the refresh preview, and once you click here, the data will be updated here as well. So always make sure that you have the latest data in your Power BI file. So there are some bunch of other features here which I'll explain in the next videos, like home, transform, add columns, view, and you can always go through this help window and click on any of these. These are provided by Microsoft only, and they have given a very deep guided learning documentation and good videos as well to get any in-depth knowledge. So that's all for this video now. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. So now let's see how you can edit and delete columns and rows. So as you can see, there are a whole bunch of columns up here, which definitely you don't want to work with, and you want to remove the unwanted columns. So there are multiple ways by which we can delete these columns. First of all, if you want some columns which you don't want in your data, just simply click on that, and when you right click on it, you will see the option remove, and when you click on this, the column will be removed. You can it's right like this. You can select multiple columns by using shift tab as well along with your mouse. So like this you can select multiple columns, and when you click on remove columns, all these columns will be removed. Another way of removing columns or selecting column is through this choose columns. When you click on choose columns, you will see the whole columns which are in your current table. So the columns which you don't want, suppose I don't want these three columns, I'll simply uncheck them and click on OK, and I'll just get the required columns in my table. And you can see the step is being shown here as removed other columns, which I have just removed. Now suppose I just want to remove rows. As you can see, this first row having null values, which is of no use, and so I just cannot simply click on the cell or here to delete it. This is not possible. So to remove this row, I'll have to click on remove rows, then click on remove top rows. So this will ask us how many rows from the top I want to remove. So I'll just simply add one. By this, the first row will be removed, and it will be shown here as well. So this first row will be removed. Like this, we can remove rows from the bottom as well. I can remove as many rows just by clicking on the number of rows from the bottom I want to remove by clicking OK. So the 50 rows from the bottom will be removed. Just like we can remove alternate rows, we can remove duplicates. Suppose there are duplicate values in this particular column and I want to remove the duplicates. So what I'll do is click on remove duplicates. So now this will only have the values which are unique. So I'll just simply for now undo this step, and suppose there are blank rows as well in your data. So you can always just simply click on blank rows, and you don't have to go and find those blank rows. You have to just click here and all the blank rows will be removed. So just like this, suppose in your data you have in this particular column you have multiple values, the same values which you want to keep, and remove the unique ones. So when you click on this, you will find the value like keep duplicates. So when you click on keep duplicates, now all the values which have at least one duplicate value will be shown here, like just like this order number 10,107. It has four other duplicates, three other duplicates as well. So this will be shown here. So everyone which have at least one duplicate will be shown here. So this way you can keep only duplicates. So there are other options as well, like keep error, keep duplicates, keep range of rows. By clicking on keep range of rows, you can just mention and specify how many number of rows between the range you wanna keep. Suppose I want to keep from row number 2 to row number 1000. So my row number 2 is this, and once you'll click on OK, So the values between 2 to 1000 will be shown up here. So by this way, you can always pretty easily edit your rows or remove the values from your rows. So now suppose in this particular column, as you can see, the text is written in this particular format, and what you really want to do is change the case of the text in the uppercase. So this is quite easily possible in the query editor. So to change it to the uppercase, all you have to do is click on transform, and here you will see this format option. When you click on format and simply click on uppercase, all the text in this particular column which you have selected will be converted into uppercase. So there are many other things just like in our micro MS Word or MS PowerPoint, all those feature like in lowercase, capitalize each word, trim, add prefix and suffix, you can simply add it like those. So this is another handy feature of editing our values in particular column. So that's all for this video, and I'll join you in the next one. Thank you. All right. So continuing our work on query editor, suppose there are instances where you want to change certain values of particular rows. So one thing here is you cannot simply click on any cell and right click on it or double click on it to change its cell values. It's not possible up here. So suppose here in this particular column, by mistake, I have written motorcycles and I want to convert the values of motorcycles into motorbikes. So to do that, to bulk rename all those value, what I will do is simply click on the column, and here I will find the option of replace values. So when you click on replace values, it will ask us to find the values which we want to replace. So I'll just simply write motor cycles, and I have to replace it with motor bikes. So when I click on OK, it will simply replace all the values of motorcycles into motorbikes. So this is one way of replacing all the values in this format just by simply clicking on replace values. Now another instance is, suppose we'll take the column price each. Suppose in the price each, what I have to do is simply add 10 or 20 more price in each of the cells. What I want to do is for each product I want to add 20 more to this. Like for 81.35 I want to add 20 more, so it will change into 101.35. Same I have to do it with the each and every value here. So we can bulk add those values as well. So to do that, what we have to do is simply click on transform, and here you will find this option of transforming values, performing some calculations. So when you click on standard, so it will ask what you have to do is, so suppose for in this particular column I want to add some value. So in the next window which will open, it will ask us to enter the amount, to enter the number which we have to add to each value in the column. So if I want to add 20 to each value of this particular column, when I click OK, all the values of the column will be added with 20. So that's one way of changing values here. So these are some ways to change the values, to add the values or replace values in a row. You cannot just simply click on any particular cell to replace those. So these are the only way to replace the values in rows. So that's all for now. We'll continue in our next session. Thank you. Okay, so another important feature here is splitting and merging columns. So when working with the data, you might find the need of splitting the values in a column or merging them. So you can do this simply here in query editor. Suppose, for example, we'll take this order date column. So now suppose you want to split them, split the date part in one column and the time part in another column. So to do this, we have this option here, split columns. So when you click on this split columns, it will ask you to split column either by delimiter or by number of characters. So suppose you have any text and you can simply just count the number of characters from by which you have to split the columns, you can do that. Or if you want to split the column by delimiter, you can do that. So in our case we will use by delimiter. So when you click on that, this window will pop up. So now as you can see, between our date and our time there is a space. So when it will ask us to select or enter delimiter, we'll click on space. So now it will ask us to split at, we can click on the leftmost delimiter and simply click on OK. So now as you can see, the columns are now splitted into two columns, order date 1, order date 2. Our date is in the other next in new column and our time is in new column. So now to we can pretty easily rename our columns as well. So just double click on the header and rename it as order date and rename this one as order time. So now we have two different columns. Just like it is important sometimes to split the columns, it is also sometimes needed to merge the columns. So to do that, what we have to do is select both the columns which we have to merge. Suppose these two columns only, we have to merge order date and order time. So what we have to do is just select both of them with the help of shift. Now when both of them are selected, click on transform and then click here, you can see the option merge columns. And when you click on this, it will again ask you what separator do you want to use and you have to keep the name of the new column. So the separator is, we can keep the separator as space and we will just simply name it as order date, just one column. So when you click OK, just like this, our order date and time, they are in one column. One thing you will notice is as doing all this operation, our data type has changed here. It's changed to ABC, which is text format, but this is a date format. So when you notice anything like this, quickly just turn it again into date and time. And when you do that, this will again change into the date and time format. So this way you can split and merge columns. Another feature here which I want to tell you is, suppose in this particular date column, all you want to do is take out just the days of the month. Suppose in the first row it's 7th of May, so you want to take out this value 7, this 1, 25, 10, 28. You just need the dates. So to do that, just simply click on the column and here you will see the option of date. In transform you will see the option of date. Just click on that and click on the day and then click on this particular day. So it is written here, it will extract the day component from the date time value. So when you click on this, it will just give you the but only day of from those dates. So one important thing which I want to tell you is, always make a duplicate of your column and then work on it. So right now what I've done is I haven't made any duplicate, so it has overwritten on those on my previous column. So I'll undo my step. Now first I will take a duplicate by right clicking on it. So this is my duplicate. I'll now work on this duplicate and take my day, and now I have the day value, and now I'll simply rename it as order day. So this was all the ways you can simply split or merge the columns. Just practice these and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Thank you.